Get as much attention as Twitter, but you never know. So in any case, welcome everybody to a fireside chat. We're talking to three of the heads of major digital printing companies. This is not all of them. These are the ones that volunteered to be here. And so just a few questions for them. But first I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. And I'm going to start at this end here.
I'm Chris Dewart.
Now you have to speak close to the mic.
Right into it. Hi, I'm Chris Dewart, and I'm president of Konica Minolta Canada.
I'm Glenn Laverty, and I'm the president and CEO of Ricoh Canada.
Hi everyone, John Corley, president and CEO of Xerox Canada. And Frank, thanks very much for having us here.
Well, thank you all for coming. First question is pretty simple. Describe your company. And let's start with John.
Oh. I'm sitting at this end of the table for a reason, Frank. Yeah. Like, there we go. Anyway.
We're going to go back and forth.
All right, I love it. I love it. So, Xerox, $11 billion technology leader. We innovate. The world communicates, connects, and works. We are a technology leader in the world, as I hope everybody knows, specialize in document technology, management, solution services. We live at the world of where analog and digital meet and believe we're uniquely positioned to make a difference there. We have been in business for over 110 years. In Canada, 64 years. And we are an economic driver inside of Canada. We employ over 3,400 people. We have a big call center out east. In fact, in Toronto, we have second and third level call center support for production clients, for printers. It's pretty cool, actually. Last week, I was visiting the team, and some of the technicians, they have a suitcase and a duffel bag right beside their workstation that they can jump on a plane and go meet a graphic printer anywhere in Canada on a whim's notice. So it's pretty neat. Also unique to Xerox, I like to think we are the jewel in the Xerox tiara. We have the largest market share in the Xerox world, and we innovate in Canada as well. So we have one of the 3 global research facilities in Canada. We generate over 150 patentable ideas right here in Canada. So that's part of our secret sauce, and we're very proud of that. So thank you, Frank.
Glenn?
So Ricoh Canada, obviously a subsidiary of Ricoh worldwide, 109,000 employees around the world. Clearly, we've been in the production space for a great number of years, through some acquisitions, through some product development of our own. Continue to do that. The hub of actually our development in terms of production print takes place in Boulder, Colorado. We have a very large graphic arts and graphics communication relationship, both in Canada as well as in the United States and around the world. In Canada, coast to coast in terms of service capabilities, what we do actually is make or allow for information to work for our customers and our customers' customers. So when we think about the graphics industry, quite frankly, we go past not just thinking about and focusing in on what you do for a living, but ultimately who you're trying to serve as a customer and what it is we can do to bring some innovation or perhaps efficiencies, whether that be in the form of workflow management and solutions or greater cost efficiencies associated with tools such as the software that we deploy on your behalf or with you for the marketplace. In Canada, we're just under 2,500 employees, as I said, coast to coast. About 89% of our business in Canada is done directly with our customers. And so consequently, you'll see that we are mapped and completely layered from a technology services standpoint in terms of whether it be break and fix or expertise from a professional services standpoint across the country aimed directly at servicing your needs.
Konica.
So I guess we are probably the nimble player here because we're not quite up to 1,000 employees in Canada. We have about 900 employees. We're basically a technology company as well. Our main focus in the graphics arts industry is to make print differentiated and drive profit to our customers. That's our main focus is how do we make our customers make more money. So as far as the greater company, $10 billion. We operate in 150 countries. Unfortunately, John has stolen my the innovation word, I'm afraid, but that is obviously a very key part of the Konica Minolta story as well. We have 5 business innovation centers positioned throughout the world. They are relentlessly focused on commercializing the office of the future, and we're having more and more products that we participate in that are not even print related. So the world is broadening for both printers and print providers.
Now, I would like you all to describe your products, because I believe that our industry wouldn't exist without our vendors who provide us with the technology to make money. So I don't want you to cut it short. So please cover the products you think are important for the printing industry, and we'll start with Konica.
I think that's a big menu, Frank. But we basically supply products that range from what you might consider to be a laser entry level, 60 page per minute. We are the world leader in color, and we're the world leader in light production color for sure. And that realm of products goes all the way up to the new Acurio KM1, which is a new inkjet press. And between them, we also have a new line of finishing gear from a subsidiary company called MGI, which I invite you all to come to our booth and take a look at. It's a revolutionary new way to put value in print, and so we cover it all. We provide monochrome production devices, color production devices from laser to inkjet, and we offer finishing not only for our own products, but for all of the products of our competitors as well.
Do you want to spend a little bit more time on some of your lower end machines, which are very popular in the quick printing market? I want you all to have the opportunity to talk about, again, I don't want to cut you short, and we have more than enough time.
That's fair. I appreciate the extra opportunity. But we have a full line of 60, 70 page per minute, I guess we would call entry level color devices, which deliver a very precise and very accurate color reproduction, which allows, first of all, allows printers who have been in the offset world to enter the digital world on a smaller scale, not with a huge investment of going into high-end laser print. Also allows the smaller print operators like UPS stores, like Minuteman Press, to offer high-grade quality products to their customers in a very affordable package.
Great. Ricoh, same thing. Please be as expansive as you can.
Sure, thanks, Frank. For us, actually, if you took a look at our product lineup, you'd see virtually everything from the smallest to the biggest in our product lineup. In the graphics arts sector, you'll find a product that is 130 pages a minute cut sheet color, 136 pages a minute black and white. You'll see 120 meters a minute in terms of our roll-fed products, which have been around for a long time. For those of you who are aware that Ricoh acquired IBM Infoprint a number of years ago, and we've expanded that product technology. In fact, one of the latest pieces of technology in that space, Frank, is the VC60000. The VC60000 was launched last year, latter part, and quite frankly, it's a marvelous product. We don't have it here on the floor, but everybody here is welcome to come to Boulder to see it if that's in your plans. We'd love to take you there. The reality is that that's one of the products I think that you'll see starting to open up and change the marketplace. We believe that the technologies that exist today or continue or have been existing up till now, quite frankly, do a lot of the same things. When you start to see some of the technologies and things that we can bring to the marketplace, it opens up market opportunities, in my opinion, for the graphic arts business. One of the things, for example, that you'll see is we have the 7110 here today. The printing in neon, quite frankly, when I first saw it, I wasn't quite sure I understood it. You'll see our people walking around in their neon green shirts today, but this has actually become a very attractive additive aspect to helping graphic arts move and or change really the dynamic associated with the discussions and the dialogues that they're having with their organizations. We'd invite you to come by the booth, take a look at it, take a look at it under the black light as well, because it's really spectacular. But I believe that's the kind of technology changes or shifts we're going to see in the future as we also bring the inkjet to marketplace, just as everybody else is doing. I think that you'll just see an expanded number of options for manufacturers to provide their customers, and ultimately for our customers to provide to their customers.
Okay, Xerox, please be expansive.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
Speeds and feeds, John.
Speeds and feeds. I'll be expansive. So we believe we've got the broadest portfolio out there in the industry, all the way from A4 devices through inkjet. And I think what's evident of that is our market share. So in Canada, we have a third of the entire market share. And think about it, we're in a pretty competitive space. And that's a fact. That's a fact by IDC. We have 76% market share inside of production alone. Again, fact by IDC. So if you think about the production market space, which I know is near and dear to a lot of the people here, production color, iGen, probably one of, if not arguably, the best production color devices out there in the marketplace. We've expanded the gamut on iGen. We've introduced gold inks. We've introduced silver inks. We've introduced a wider and bigger, larger paper path. We've made investments in workflow, solutions, software, all the way down to helping cross-media campaigns. Staying on production color, we made the acquisition of Impica. So we now have a portfolio of production inkjet devices that is probably the largest portfolio in inkjet out there. And then what we've done is we didn't stop there. We took that Impica technology, and through RD&E, through innovation, we mirrored that and combined it with xerography. And we actually brought out some disruptive technology, we believe, in a Brenva product line, which is here at the show. And so we're showing an inkjet solution here on the floor at our booth. And I'm not sure if everybody's showing inkjet or not here, but we are, because that is where the marketplace is going. And we're making investments in that. We're also showing in our booth the brand new Versant product, which is another production color device that we launched this week. So we believe this marketplace has tremendous opportunity for growth. 50 trillion pages are printed worldwide, but only 2 to 3% of them are digital. And they're growing exponentially. And the way we're going to go after that, the way we're going to help printers capitalize on that, is providing the right technology to migrate that volume over to a digital platform. So Frank, you said please be broad. So let me broaden the question a little bit. We're in this business to help printers succeed. We're in this business to help you grow your business, and we have countless examples around the country, around the world, where we've been able to do that. You know, I'll paraphrase Wayne Gretzky. It's not about skating to where the puck is. You want to skate to where the puck's going to be, and that's what we are doing. We are innovating to create new market opportunities. We're creating to create new industries to help our printers succeed. You know, I brought a couple props, which I thought is kind of cool. We've developed technology, and we've launched it. We've got 2 in Canada. Printing on direct object, 3-dimensional object that we're printing on. Breakthrough market, something that's never been done before. Printing on plastic, printing on memory, printed films, printed electronics. This is where the marketplace is going, and we are innovating to do that, and we are innovating to do that here in Canada at our Xerox research facility just down the street in Mississauga. So lots of exciting innovation, lots of exciting news to come, and just shows our commitment to this industry, not just what we have today, but about helping innovate with you, with our printers, to help you grow, become more strategically relevant, provide value to your clients to help you grow and dominate in this industry going forward.
That's great. All right, next question is, you all have great customers. Is there one or even two, you can do that if you wish, a customer in Canada that you can describe and tell us how they benefited from using your equipment? Xerox, we're going to start with you again.
Okay. You know, I'll stick on this path of innovation and doing things a little bit differently. So we have a great client, Tim Graham, out in London. Amazing business. OTC Group is the organization that comes to mind. And why I want to talk about Tim and why that's relevant is it was a pretty small concept, pretty small operation only a handful of years ago. And he has now grown into having a world-class production print facility. And he's done that through innovation, done that through becoming more strategically relevant in niche markets with certain clients around the world. And he's got a state-of-the-art production print facility that's focused on preventing theft and counterfeit to the pharmaceutical industry. So if you speak or talked about any of the CEOs in the pharmaceutical industry, it's a $200 billion problem that they have around counterfeit packaging, theft around their packaging. And that does not even include patient illness or fatality if they don't have the drugs at the right place or the right time or the right products. So he's created a revolutionary solution that combined our iGen with workflow through an automated packaging solution that allows them to track and monitor all the integrity of the packaging, eliminate any exposure, traceability, account for all the waste, and save one client multi-million dollars inside of one production run of 800,000 production carton folded solutions in just one application, one run, one contract. So that is what we are doing. We are trying to innovate with our partners, allow them to become more strategically relevant to their end customer so that end customer can grow. And when we do that, they're creating value. The printer ends up growing their top line revenues as well as their bottom line, and that's the business we're in, is helping our printers grow.
Were they in packaging before?
Not before a handful of years ago.
Okay,
They
great.
started off with actually automobile application, working with a car manufacturer, and it's actually expanded across multiple industries right now.
Yeah, I love it when printers use technology to expand their business.
That's
to find
exactly
new
it.
areas, new avenues.
Well, and because this industry is competitive, right? Printers are under siege right now. So how do you go out and distinguish yourself from the competition? How do you create value? How do you become more relevant with your clients? That's the name of the game, and I think it's through innovation.
Okay. Ricoh, a customer of yours that has benefited from your products.
Sure. The customer I'd point to is an organization known as Copywell. What's really interesting about this organization, quite frankly, is that by nature or where they came from was not necessarily, their origins were not necessarily in the print business, although they'd been in it for a number of years. Anthony and Frank at Copywell made a decision at the end of their last contract to replace, and this happens all the time, back and forth, I realize, but they replaced a couple of iGens with a VC60,000. The reason why they wanted to do that is they wanted to actually shift the way they were going in terms of their marketplace. They had actually been working off of a specific set of customers doing a specific sets of jobs. What was really interesting about listening to their story and seeing their environment was that they wanted to expand what it is that they were doing in that space. They felt the VC60,000 was going to be the product that was going to get them there. And quite frankly, not only did it go in flawlessly, but ultimately they surrounded it with some additional product in a cut sheet form that would allow them to supplement certain types of jobs that they were doing. They also brought in from outsourcers an awful lot of work that they were sending outside so that they were able to control the entire workflow from beginning to end. Now I'm actually really excited about the fact that they're looking at different markets and how do they take this capability that they've developed and, as I understand it, with the second shift they're about to put on, create offerings in a marketplace that they had never really thought of beforehand. So delighted about the fact that they have taken up the technology and started to use their creativity to actually move well beyond what they'd known for the last 5-6 years in terms of their ability to do what they needed to do.
Can you describe what they're printing specifically?
Well, they started out actually, believe it or not, printing manuals for a specific set of customers and a specific industry. I won't go into too much detail there, but I was a little surprised, to be honest with you, when I saw that, not just that the quality that they had to produce and the stringent specifications associated with it, but that it was, in fact, still print. And as it turned out, when I got closer to the application and understood it, you could see why, in fact, it needed to be print for and needs to be print for the foreseeable future. But they also recognize that documents and print, quite frankly, hand in hand, and starting to change their approach to what it is that they're doing with content is all about where they're going, in my opinion. So I would say, well, it started there, Frank. Basically, there's literally no limit to what they're looking at.
Okay. All right, Konica, a customer that has benefited from your technology here in Canada.
Well,
Yeah,
the company that we would pick would be a small Toronto-based finishing company. Do some printing, but they're mainly in finishing now, and that would be Print Panther. Christine.
Print Panther.
Print Panther, and this is the type of product. I brought a few samples. The type of product that she has been able to create for her customers, and significantly expanded a customer base by adding foil and varnish in very innovative ways using digital technology, which is significantly less expensive to set up and to operate than traditional traditional methodology of foil and varnish. They were really partly in the bindery business, so they understood how things needed to be finished, how things needed to be looked for that final customer. And she had the vision and insight to see very, very quickly and be a very early adopter of this technology, and has now expanded her ability to service large print organizations. So she's a small business, but some of her customers are now the biggest names in the Canadian print business. So it's a tremendous story of how to find a value proposition, invest in it, and then capitalize on new technology to find a very, very strong market niche. And we certainly love working with Christine, and we're actually one of her customers as well. So
I don't recall you saying what machine was used to do that.
this is done on the MGI Jet Varnish 3DS with iFoil component. So it's so the varnish for the clean finish, and then you add the foil for the metallic finish.
Okay. Do any of you want to add another user that you'd like to mention? Give you a chance. Okay. Next question is, what do you see as a key issue or issues affecting the Canadian printing industry? So we'll start at this end of Konica.
Well, I think both my colleagues have referred to it, and that's the differentiation in this era. How do you make print have value? So many printers are caught in a what we would call a race to zero. Commoditized product. Everybody can produce color. You produce color on a Ricoh machine, Konica Minolta machine, Xerox machine. There's going to be nuanced differences that we as suppliers certainly see, but I'm not sure how much your customers will actually see. So how do you make it different in an age when people are sort of avoiding print? Let's face it, much of the material that we get comes through social media. Much of our advertising goes out on social media. All stuff that used to be printed, it's not printed anymore. So as someone caught in that business, do you want to race to the bottom, or do you want to find a niche of value that you can actually drive profit from? And that is the biggest challenge of every printer that I visit, is how do they make themselves different, and how do they make themselves stand out in this market, and therefore drive value. And I've visited over my career, many printers that aren't around anymore. And we had recently here in Canada one of the biggest name printers in Canada just went out of business about 3 months ago. They certainly didn't plan on it 5 years ago or 10 years ago. But they got caught in the vice. They got caught where other people had technology, or the technology was equal. So if it's at 39 cents from your shop and 29 cents from my shop, I'm going to buy 29 cents. So that's the biggest challenge I see for printers. How do you differentiate? How do you drive profitability? And how do you make your product stand out in the market as it is?
Okay. Ricoh, same question.
Yeah, and I agree with everything that Chris said, and John was talking about innovation earlier, and I think that's quite frankly at the center of what's going to be key. And I think there's two challenges. Number one is being able to drive flexibility in terms of what it is you're going to offer to the marketplace, creativeness, perhaps innovation, all those buzzwords that we all use. But actually, it's also involved in what's also involved is really helping the sales organizations within the graphic arts business to basically become acutely aware of what's possible, what is possible in terms of product and technology, what's possible for their customers, and in that way, I think that's where some of the keys will be in terms of the industry going forward. I think, as Chris said, the race to the bottom is, quite frankly, a crazy race. Every industry is facing it. In the previous, the Future of Print presentation that was on just before ours, a few booths down, you would have heard about some of the things that some of the printers were talking about, the people who were on the panel. And they were suggesting that basically they were becoming very focused on what they do best and delivering on that level of expertise to differentiate themselves in the marketplace. What I think will add to that is really, and is the responsibility of technologists or technology companies such as what we represent, is bringing to the marketplace, whether it be in the form of new technology or whether it be in the form of changes in terms of the way technology can even be managed and how it can be driven towards greater efficiencies, whether it be online, offline technologies, as well as introducing really new concepts. So I talked about neon, for example, metals, which we brought out earlier as well, and Xerox has. Those are the kinds of things that I think open up doors and ideas for people to start to educate even your customers on what's possible, because if they've been, call it, stuck thinking about how they can produce print based on what we used to produce as product for you to deliver to them, that, quite frankly, game has changed, and it has to change for all of us, I think, in order to take advantage of that transitional period that we're about to enter. And John talked about in terms of the percentage that will go digital will explode as a result of that flexibility in technology.
Yeah.
Okay, Xerox, let me just repeat the question. What do you see as a key issue or issues for the Canadian printing industry?
So, Frank, I agree with what Chris and Glenn said. I'll build on it, and then I'll expand the question, which you've encouraged us to do, and I'll tell you what we're doing about it. So, one word: productivity. I don't think I've met a client, whether it's this industry or any other industry, and Xerox is no different. I would bet my colleagues up here are no different. We got to do more with less. We have to do more with less. Quite frankly, it's that simple. Everybody's under siege to be more productive. And the reason you have to, because it's not about just expanding margins and making sure you make your bottom line commitment, you have to make the right investments to go out and grow your top line. I always tell people the P&L is listed in order of importance. Revenue's on top for a reason. So you have to be able to make the investments to go out and grow the top line. So that's why you have to focus on productivity, lean out operations, so that you can make those strategic investments to go and innovate, go and create, go and become more strategically relevant with your clients. So what are we doing about it? We actually have a pretty cool tool. It's called MAP, a manufacturing and printing process. And what it is, it's a linear view of the entire manufacturing process in your own environments. And we go in and do a full assessment, understand the workflow of how every job is created, through to all the way it's finished and distributed and stored, and we try and find non-value added tasks, lean them out. We come back with recommendations that will have direct bottom line impacts for our printers to make sure they have healthier margins, they're driving efficiencies, they're driving operational excellence, but more so they can then go out and make the right investments to help grow their top line business, whether it's in expanding their sales force, training, customer events, business consultants, seminars, and or any products or portfolio expansion. So that's what I think the challenge is, and the successful companies are already doing it, and it's a race. So come by our booth, check out our MAP tool, and I think you'll be quite impressed in terms of how it can help your operation.
Okay, the question that I added to this mix was, you have the last word. What's new about your company? What's new about your products? What keeps you awake at night? What would you like to say to sort of summarize everything you're doing right now? And to scare everybody, I'm going to start at this end.
Darn, I was waiting to hear what these guys had to say.
I knew that.
Well, I think the most significant step that we are taking at Konica Minolta is the development of our inkjet technology. People aren't aware of this, but we are the largest manufacturer in the world of inkjet heads, and nobody knows who we are because we put them in other people's products. So with us now deciding to put in our own products, I think it's going to be a very exciting journey for our customers and for our company. And the KM1 is probably, is a very unique UV-coated inkjet device. There's nothing else like it on the market. It's going to be alone. It's going to be the only one of its kind. So it's going to be a very, very revolutionary product to the marketplace. The other big development at Konica Minolta, and I think brings a lot of value to our customers, we're going to have some really exciting announcements around this in the next 48 hours, is our MGI products. We bought 40% of MGI, but even before that, we in Canada, Konica Minolta Canada, had signed up to be their exclusive distributor in Canada before there was any transaction. And what we see in this is, and we've all talked about it, is this: how do you differentiate yourself? How do you make it different? How do you create things that are going to make your product attractive to customers and allow you to stay in business and grow revenue? And so we are very excited about the technology that brought by the MGI subsidiary. The varnish and foil in a digital, so no dyes, immediately can look at a computer file, knock off 5, 10 for your customer, costs you a couple of bucks. In this technology, that cost you 2 years ago, that cost you $2,000 just to do that. So we're really excited about this type of thing, and we're looking forward to other developments. We'll also be introducing fairly shortly a new line of higher-end digital print presses, and they're going to really continue the tradition of innovation at Konica Minolta, which started with the C8000, the first digital device for offset printing, basically. We're very excited about where we're going, and we certainly hope that our customers are as well.
Ricoh.
So I'll talk about what's new, and I'm going to talk about also what's old, actually. So what's new is that you continue to see the evolution of technology coming from Ricoh, whether it be in the form of cut sheet or for that matter, even the types of materials that you get to run through cut sheet to really sort of really change the world in terms of the communication space, but also in the inkjet, as well as the CF world, the continuous feed components of what it is that we do. That technology, a rash of it has actually already hit the marketplace. More is going to hit the marketplace this year and next. And we're looking forward to the technology, no question about it. The inkjet side of things, I think there's I totally agree with actually the comments made earlier, that is where we will see some significant moves in terms of technology going forward. But I also think that the acquisitions that we've made of software organizations, the development of our professional services business here in Canada to support the graphic arts business has been no less than substantial. And as a result, it's really starting to change the kind of dynamic that we end up having with our customers and the insights that we get to what it is they're doing and how it is that we can assist and help. So that brings me to what's old. What's old is that we have this extraordinary technical service organization in Canada. We, as I said earlier, we're coast to coast, and through our own development and our long-term position within production, we also had the acquisition, of course, of Infoprint, and took all of the technical service capabilities that they had, which